So the next way in which human wastewater and animal wastewater can be treated is through a centralized sewage treatment plant. So it works very much like a septic system, except a couple of minor changes. So first of all, these are plants that are usually outside of large cities or in large cities. And the wastewater comes out of the pipe at the home, just like the septic, but feeds into a larger pipe which receives wastewater from multiple homes and conducts it underground to the sewage treatment plant, where it undergoes water to clean it, and some of the procedures are very similar to what you have in a septic tank. So first is the primary treatment, and that's letting the solid material settle out of the wastewater by gravity. So that's very much like the septic tank where the sludge floats to the bottom, and then you have that septage layer. So the next treatment, called the secondary treatment, air is pumped in to what would be that septage, and so are bacteria, and it helps bacteria to digest between 85 and 95% of the remaining organic material. So this is what it looks like. Here is your city with multiple homes, their pipes feeding into a general sewage pipe, which takes it to a sewage treatment plant. In the primary treatment, the sludge is allowed, or the solid waste is allowed, to settle to the bottom, and that is then removed and typically taken to a landfill, though it could be burned or it could be used as fertilizer, but typically it goes to a landfill. Then this septage water, just like in your tank, undergoes a secondary treatment. So in a septic tank in a home, that secondary treatment is allowing bacteria in the leaching field to break down the contaminants. Here the bacteria are within this tank. There's air pumped in to help the bacteria to multiply, and as they do, they clean up this water. And then in this type of plant, the water is then treated further. So it may be exposed to chemicals or to ultraviolet light to kill any pathogens or any bacteria that might be in the water. And then the water that's been treated and is as clean as it can get is released into a body of water. Now, where you run into problems, you see this example here, the pipe leading into the water is very short. And so that water, even though it's treated, it's not going to be 100% clean, and yet it's very close to going into, say, an aquifer or very close to shore. So nowadays they make these pipes go out much longer to help dilute the amount of water, the amount of possible pollution or contaminants that get into the water. Now, surprisingly, it is in certain circumstances legal to dump sewage directly without having it go through this cleaning process, even in developed countries such as ours. So often older treatment plants receive water not only from the pipes from people's homes that are bringing the sewage and the gray water, but also connected with that are stormwater drainage systems. And sometimes when you have a very big storm, a lot of rain, these drainage systems, all the stormwater comes in and actually is a larger volume of water than the older sewage treatment plants can handle. And when that happens, it is legal to have raw sewage, untreated water, go directly into the body of water. And according to the EPA, that occurs approximately 40,000 times per year in the United States, and leaving nature to clean up what it can. Okay, the third point that we're going to look at here is other ways to treat animal waste. So animal waste could be treated through a sewage treatment plant type facility, but more commonly, it's treated through what are called managed manure lagoons. Manure means the waste product. Lagoons are man-made lined ponds which collect where the manure is piled. And that way the manure won't go directly into the groundwater or to the water body next to it. And similarly, bacteria and breaks down the manure, and then that manure can be used as fertilizer. But again, oftentimes manure lagoons are not used properly, or they can have an accident and break and allow the manure to escape. Oops. Okay, one last comment about animal waste. There is research in the past decade into building something called an anaerobic digester, where the animal waste can be put, it's sort of like putting it in a composting pile, but bacteria, anaerobic bacteria, bacteria that don't need oxygen, are mixed with the manure and assist the breakdown in a faster way, the breakdown of the manure. And when the manure is broken down, it not only produces a fertilizer, which contains carbon, but the anaerobic bacteria cause the release of natural gas, methane, which then can be captured and used, as methane often is, for things like heating homes. So it's a more cyclical way of breaking down the manure without releasing methane into the atmosphere, which in coming years is going to be very important as we move away from having carbon dioxide and methane in our atmosphere, which may lead to further global climate change. Okay, I think that is it. Just check. Okay, that will be it for the treatment of waste from humans and animals, and the last screencast will be about other water pollutants.